Laptop is connecting to the staff SSID without the username and password. It is purely the certificate based authentication. Authentication is keep failing and getting the EAP-TLS fatal alert. Welcome back to my channel. I am Tarindu. If you didn't watch the first video of this video series, I am highly recommending you to go to the first video and then come back to here, because the second video, this video is fully deployed on top of that first video. Here what we are building today, we have Aruba access point, we have Aruba controller, we have Aruba ClearPass, and we have Microsoft Intune. So we are going to push the certificate to the corporate laptop by using the Microsoft Intune. In here we will use two additional components. The first one is the Windows Certificate Authority and the other one is NDES, the service rule. The Windows Server Certificate Authority is the entire trust root certificate for our deployment. So we will deploy all the certificates based on that certificate authority. The second one is the NDES service. NDES service is Network Device Enforcement Service. NDES is a Windows Server role. So we will deploy that one on top of the certificate authority. So it will be a bridge from the internal CA to the Microsoft Intune to push the certificate and to install the certificate into the client PCs. Before we start building, let's quickly go through what we did in the part 1, then we know exactly from where we are going to start right now. Okay, in the part 1, we already integrate Aruba ClearPass with the Intune by using the app registration. So you can see it in here. This is what we did in the we got this tenant ID, client ID and the secret, and then we configure those values in the ClearPass, and then we start fetching the details and we validate via the logs how it is showing. Also in the policy manager had some roles about compliant and non-compliant devices, and we started the enforcing the if the PC is compliant, we started the enforcing the compliant role, and if it is not compliant, we enforce the non-compliant role. Also we validate how it is showing in the endpoint repository. So once we come into the endpoint and when we select, we can see these attributes are fetched via the Intune extension towards the ClearPass endpoint repository. So this is the thing which we did in the part 1. This is the quick recap what we did in the part 1. So in this video we are going to do we are not going to change any of these things. Additionally, what we are going to do, we are going to authenticate this PC by using the certificate, or else we can call it as a EAP-TLS authentication for the Intune enrolled device. So let's start our video now. Our Windows server is running domain services for the letslearnnetwork.com domain, and in this server we already installed the Active Directory Certificate Service, or else ADCS. This is our enterprise root certificate. So this is the one which we are using to enroll the certificate. This will acting as a certificate authority for our entire domain. If you following along in this video series, so you need to have the ADCS service in your Windows server. That is mandatory. I think you already have the certificate authority now in your domain. So today we need to install one additional service on top of this Active Directory Certificate service, which it is NDES. What is NDES? NDES is Network Device Enrollment Service. This service which we are using to push the certificate to the network devices like routers, switches. So network devices can obtain the certificate securely by using this service, but this service will always couple with the SCEP protocol. What is SCEP protocol? SCEP protocol is Simple Certificate Enrollment Protocol. So NDES service will be coupled with the SCEP protocol. So let's start the NDES service configuration. So you will come into the manage and you will click on add and roles features. You will click on next. Again role based feature based authentication installation. Click on next. It will ask your server. I will click on next. In here you can see this drop down. From this one you can see in my Windows server it is already installed. So you need to install this one in your PC, in your Windows server. Before starting this configuration, you need to create one user account. You can come into the tools. You can click on Active Directory users and computers. From here you can create an account. You can see I already created an account. I name it as a NDES service because this is a service account, and keep it in mind, from in this account you cannot make the password expiry and password cannot be changed. So those two options you need to check before you saving this account. And also additionally, this account should be a member of administrators, domain users, and also IIS_IUSRS. This is a default user group in the Active Directory. So you need to make sure the account which you are going to create, it should be part of this user group, and then you can click OK. Then you can start this network device enrollment service. Along the way, when you are doing this configuration, it will ask about this username. So in that field you can put this username and password which you created in the users and computers. Once it is installed, we need to do some additional step to make sure our NDES service will work smoothly without any issues. For that one, here is something that it isn't well documented, because when I was implementing this one I faced this issue. That's why I just thought it will be good to inform this one in this video also. NDES, it's required a challenge password for every certificate request which it is coming. So Intune, it doesn't use the challenge password. So we need to disable this requirement by using the registry keys. So you can go into the tools, and from here you can find the registry editor. So I already opened that one. In the registry editor, you have to navigate it to the H key, local machine, software, Microsoft, cryptography, and MSEP. You can see that again it is the SCEP. So I think this is Microsoft SCEP or something like that. I don't know the full meaning about this one. From here you need to make sure some values changing into the some specific attribute. Those things I found it in the internet. So mainly you need to change these three values into the Intune device. So encryption template, you need to change it to the Intune device. General purpose, you need to change it to the Intune device. Signature template, you need to change it to the Intune device. Additionally, you need to create one another file which it is password max. So you need to change this one into the value 0. So this modification you need to do in your registry file, because again like I mentioned, I faced the issue when I am enrolling the certificate by using the NDES. So when I just do my own research, I found this one. After I enable those values, my NDES started working. So if somehow keep it in mind, always coming into this registry, you need to modify this registry values. Intune runs in the Microsoft Cloud. So our NDES server need to reach into the Microsoft Intune. For this one I am using the Cloudflare tunnels. So let's verify our NDES server have reachability to Microsoft Intune or not. So this is the URL. So you can see now my NDES server is working and it is reaching into the Cloudflare tunnel. ClearPass need the RADIUS server certificate that client will trust during the EAP-TLS handshake. To verify that, you can go to the administration, and in the administration under the certificates you can see the certificate store. From here you can drop down, you can see RADIUS/EAP server certificate. So this section need to be signed it by using your enterprise CA, or else your the certificate authority which you have already created. So you need to sign it. If you don't have anything in here, you can request a certificate. You can create a certificate signing request and fill this one and sign it by using your certificate authority. Also, you need to export the root CA from your certificate authority, and you need to add that one into the trusted list in here, and you have to give the usage as the EAP to work the radius authentication. So these two things are mandatory to go ahead with the EAP-TLS authentication. Now we configure the Intune to push the two profiles. First one is the trusted certificate, second one is the SCEP profiles. So we'll see how we can push these things by using the Intune. In the Intune, this is the Intune dashboard. So we will go to the devices. From here we will select the configuration. From here we will create a new policy. You can click on the new policy and select the platform as Windows 10 and later, and the profile type select as a template, then click on the trusted certificate and then click on create. Give a meaningful name. You can give any name, and click on next. From here configuration settings, it will ask for a certificate file. What is this certificate file? This is the root CA of your certificate authority. So if you don't have it now, what you can do, you can jumping into the your certificate authority by using the URL and logging with the username and password. From here you will see the download CA certificate, and then you can download this CA certificate into your PC. This is the root, and you can select any encoding method. It is fine, DERO base 64, and then you can click on download CA certificate. I already have a downloaded one, and then you will come into the configuration settings section. Then you can click on this icon, you can browse the certificate and click it open. So you can see it uploaded. Destination store, I am keeping it as a certificate computer certificate store as the root, and then I will click on next. From here I will select all the devices. So I will apply whatever the devices it is enrolled into the Intune, and then I will click on next. Click on next here, then you can click on the create. I already have created this profile, so I will not create it again. I will show you that one which I was created. I will click OK. So this is the root. So it is the same settings which I followed. You can see I uploaded the certificate, and it is under the computer certificate store root. So that is the first profile, which it is the trusted CA. Second one is, again I will come to the configuration. From here I will select the create new policy. I will select Windows 10 and later. The profile I will select the template. From here I will select the SCEP certificate and I will click create. Again give a meaningful name. This one I will create the device CA, device certificate. Click on next. In the configuration settings, it will ask you what kind of certificate is this one. So I will select device certificate. So you can see immediately some attributes are changed. You can get these attributes from the Intune website, the Microsoft Azure website, or there is a tech document available from the Aruba regarding how we can do this configuration. So based on those information, I create a dedicated profile for this one. I will show you that. And the root certificate, you can select the root one which we uploaded. So this is the root certificate which I show you earlier. So you can select that one. In the extended key usage, you can select all of these three. It is fine, but mainly it required this client authentication. And this is the most important part, the SCEP server URL. If you remember that we already create our NDES server and then we find one URL. So we need to paste that URL into here, and then I will show you the working one. This is how you can do the configuration. Let me show you the working one. I will cancel this one. So this is the device certificate. If you come into the settings, so as I mentioned, the certificate type I use the device, the subject name I change it to the device ID. These all data I will publish one the guide in my website, so you can download this one. Right now I will just show you what are the attributes it's needed to be. So I add additional attribute, the URI attributes, and I mentioned the device ID and also Azure AD device ID also. These data you can see in the configuration endpoints. So you can see this one, Azure AD device ID. This is that attribute which we are matching. We are matching these attributes should be part of the subject alternative name, not the subject name, subject alternative name. And also I am asking for the Intune device ID. So this is the Intune ID. So you can see I mapped that one also. So these are again subject alternative name, and the validity period I kept it as a 1 year. And key storage provider I selected enroll to trusted platform module if presented, otherwise software KSP. Key usage, there is a two options, you can select the both digital certificate and the key, and other one is the key size. You can change this one also, but I am using 2048. Hash algorithm I select the both. I selected the root certificate of my enterprise root, and the usage I select all three. In the SCEP server URL you can see I mention my SCEP server. So if you copy this one and if you type in your browser, you can see this URL is working. This is the same URL which I saw you earlier also, that NDES server URL, and then you can deploy this one. But for this certificate you can see in the assignment I added to the all users and all devices. So you can keep the devices only because this is the device certificate, but if you can keep the all users, there is no harm. So that is the second profile. The third profile is the user certificate. So it is the same, but there are slight changes. So let me show you in the configuration settings. Instead of the device, the certificate type, I selected this one as the user, and the subject name again it is same, and the attributes I change little bit. I add two additional attributes. So if you working in the AD also, you might know about this UPN name and the email address. So I add those two attributes also into the subject alternative name, then I can get more visibility about the certificate which it is added into the device. Other settings all are same, root and the extended key usage and the URL, all of these things are same. And also I push this one into the all the devices and all the users. So this is our SCEP certificate. So, now we need to sync this PC with the Intune to get these certificates. So let's verify that one now. Now let's build the ClearPass service policy to process the EAP-TLS authentication. But before doing that one, we need to modify our authentication method. Sorry. We logging to the ClearPass, and in the configuration authentication method, what you have to do, you have to make a duplicate of this one. So keep it in mind, always within this bracket means it is the default one. So whatever like the profiles which you are seeing in the ClearPass, if it is have this bracket, it means it's a default one. So I will make a copy of this one. So you can see the copy of EAP-TLS. So you can modify this one, but in here what is the main thing you want to remove is authorization required. You need to uncheck this one and then click on save. Now let's modify our service policy. In the last video we created the service policy staff wireless authentication, and in there we use the authentication method as a EAP. So we will remove this one and we will add the profile which we created. I created another profile. So this is the profile which I use. You can see in the details. So authorization I disable, and authentication source I will select is as the same one which we use, the endpoint repository. Authorization also I kept it like that, and in the roles I am using the Intune the same role mapping, and the enforcement also I will select it to Intune enforcement. I will click on save. Our authentication service also done. Additionally, what I did, if you come into the authentication sources, I joined my Azure AD as the authorization source. This is not mandatory, but you can make it to get some more details, to fetch some more details. That is only for that purpose. Other than that, like you don't, it's not really required. So you can see I map that one also in the authorization source, but in my entire the service is depend on the Intune, the endpoint authorization source, and also the EAP-TLS authentication method. Let's check the laptop that the certificate SCEP profiles and the root CA, it should be automatically pushed now into the this laptop. So let's verify that the certificate availability of this PC. You can access the certificate folder in your laptop by pressing the Windows button and type MMC. So you can go to that one. It will ask the management console. You can click yes. From here, click on the files, add and remove snaps in. You can select the certificate, click add. In this tab it will ask you can select the user account. Again I will click, then I will select the computer account and click finish. Keep it in mind, this 3 option section will come only if you have the admin rights to this PC from the account which you are logging in. So in my account I have the admin rights, that's why it's getting the admin account, this privilege. So I will click OK now. Let's verify the computer first. So click on the certificates. First we will validate the trusted root certificate, which the root CA is push or not. I will click on this one, click on certificate. So you have to carefully check the root CA which it is pushed or not. So yeah, so I can see my root CA is pushed. If you open this one, you can see the letslearnnetwork.ad2 CA which it is pushed. Details, certification path, you can see this certificate is okay, and this is the root certificate. Okay, root CA is fine. Now let's check the device certificate. I will click on the personal, click on the certificate. So you can see the certificate is pushed from the Intune itself. So if you go here, you can see this ID. If you remember, this is the Intune ID. So if I click on details, let's verify one by one. Version 3, serial number, signature, and the issuer. So you can see it's issued by my local certificate authority by using the SCEP protocol. And let's validate this is the CN subject command name. Command name is what we define is the device ID, so it is also map. Key enhancement, so you can see we enable client authentication and also server authentication. If you remember, this is fetching by using the NDES template which we created. And this is the important thing, subject alternative name. If you remember, we add some URI attributes in the Intune SCEP profile. So you can see those attributes also push into the client PC. So those are the details. So if I click on the certificate path, you can see this is the device certificate and this is the root certificate. I can click OK now. So device certificate enrollment is success. Let's verify the client certificate also. So I will click on certificates here. Again I will validate the root CA. I will click on the root one and then let's go down to verify here. I can see my root CA also available in the client section. So let's go to the personal certificates now. Certificate. So you can see the client certificate also push, but yeah, it is showing as the device ID, because in the CN name we mentioned it should be the device ID, but it is push. I will show you when the authentication is happening which certificate it will show me. So details are available. You can see the key enhancement, and this is the other important thing. You can remember that we add the UPN name, so it is available in here now. You can see it's issue under my name, and the other two attributes also it is available now. So let's connect the client and then let's verify the authentication is success or not. Can click no. My PC is automatically connected into the staff SSID now. So let's jump into the ClearPass and validate how is this authentication is showing in the access tracker. Access tracker, now we can see 2 authentication requests is reached and both are accepted. Let's go through one by one. First one is the host slash and the ID name. So this is our exactly our certificate. So you already saw that one in the laptop. Okay, let's go into the input tab and verify one by one. Yeah, this is the AP details. Let's go into the computer attributes. So you can see authentication outer method is EAP-TLS and TLS version. This is the machine authenticate, and we can see the issuer, which it is our root CA, and what else? Yes, we can see this URI attributes also. It is showing now. Subject name. So it's showing the compliance state. So it's showing us many details about the certificate, and also the UPN name also it is showing. So let's check the other request, which it is our user authentication request. Let's go into the input tab. Let's go into the computer attributes. So you can see the authentication status is it is showing as a user. Previous one was machine, and the outer method is TLS. So other all details are same, except we can see the UPN name, email, and those attributes also fetch by using the certificate. And also our client is successfully authenticated. You can see it showing Intune full access and it identifying as the compliant client. In here also you can see this is the user authentication request, and it will tag all the attributes: user authenticated, machine authenticated, and it is compliant, and it's giving the Intune full access. Let's go into the controller. So you can see in the controller it's showing as the username. It's not showing the machine name, which it is very easy for us to troubleshoot, because if it is showing as the machine name, it's very difficult to identify, because the machine name is pushing by using the Intune ID, so it is very difficult to identify. That's why user authentication is a good solution for this kind of Intune based authentication thing. So the role also push for the Intune full access. Let's break our configuration now and let's verify if this PC is going on non-compliant state, and then let's see how this thing is working. Let's go into the Intune. I will create a compliance policy. Create a policy. Platform, I will select Windows 10 and later. Compliance, I will select Windows 10 and 11 compliance policy. I will create this one. give a meaningful name, click next. From here I will select encryption is required, and then I will click on next. I will select it should apply into all the PCs, click on next, and I will create the policy. Let's wait few minutes until this policy is getting pushed into the PC, and then let's verify the access tracker log again. In the access tracker right now we can see client is getting non-compliant role, and also the enforcement also change. If we check in the endpoint now, I will come into the attribute, you can see it is showing as the non-compliant. Let's jump into the controller also, you can see now it is showing as the non-compliant client. So we just enable the BitLocker, the PC doesn't have the BitLocker, because of that on the PC is getting the non-compliant. So we just witness that the PC is getting compliant and non-compliant based on the Intune policies. So this solution is totally depend with the Intune, the rules which you are going to configure. Okay, that's how we can use Windows PC, Intune and the EAP-TLS together in one solution. Before I wrap up, I just want to give you the two things which I face while I am deploying this lab. These are the two issues which I face. So let's go through those issues. Maybe you will also face about these issues. So let's see how we can resolve those issues. The first issue is the NDES challenge password issue. And normally, like if any profile which we configured two profiles, the trusted certificate profile and also the SCEP profile. If any of these profiles are not properly enforcing, so you can come into those policies. For example, if you click on this one, it will show you is it success or if it is fail. So right now you can see it is 2 success, and like if it is failing, this number will be counting. It is same for the other one also. If anything is failing, you can see it in here. So once it is failing, the first thing you need to verify, because this is the SCEP profile. So SCEP profile will use the SCEP URL. So we need to go to the NDES server to check like what we can what is the error, that why this issue is happening. So the first thing what you can do, like I told you that you need to edit these registry values in the PC. If somehow if you forgot to do those things, you can come into the event viewer in the computer. You can take the event view by clicking the tools, and then you can click on the event viewer. So event will pop up. In the event viewer, you need to come into the Windows logs, application logs, and from here if you are seeing any issue like this, the password in the certificate request cannot be verified, obtain a new password to submit with the request. This is because the NDES is trying to validate the password. That's why we are ignoring those things from these values, password max, enforce password. So all of these attributes we make it to 0. So that is the one issue which you can face when you are deploying the certificate to the client PCs by using the NDES service. The second issue is EAP-TLS, the fatal alert. So let me show you. I got a lot of errors from this one. I will filter it for 6 days. While I am building this lab, I got a lot of fatal alert request. Let me show you. So let's take this one, click on the alerts. So if you are getting this alert, so first thing you need to verify your root CA, your RADIUS server certificate. So you can come into the certificate store, so you can check your CN name is correct, also your SAN name. I think the SAN name is really required right now, because we are using this is in the Intune is in the cloud. So I think the SAN name is really required, so make sure those things are there. Additionally, the ClearPass should have the FQDN, so you can see my FQDN also updated. The other thing is This is I found it in the Airhead community while I am deploying. You can coming into the service parameter. In the service parameter, select the radius server. In the TLS section, we can disable this RSA-PSS signature suite in EAP-TLS. By default it is disabled. You have to make it enable. So once you enable it, this EAP-TLS fatal alert will be gone. But before disabling this one, before enabling this one, make sure all the prerequisites are done. You have the radius certificate, it is signed by using your certificate authority, also it have the CN name. So all of these things you have to verify first before jumping into the parameter changes. So once you do those things, it will be work. So these are the issues which I face while I am deploying this lab, and that's it. Aruba ClearPass is integrated with the Microsoft Intune, and it is pushing the certificate to the clients and the devices by using the internal certificate authority. Compliance check is done. Based on the compliance, the user role is enforcing into the wireless controller to add the policies based on the compliance state. So that's it. This is the part 2 of the series, which we did in the part 1. We used the PEAP authentication method with the periodic sync by using the Intune extension. Pretty easy method. If you want more easy method, you can follow that one. No complex, it's just the compliance state. The attribute will be fetched by using the Intune. It is very easy. You can use the PEAP method, username and password based authentication. No fancy thing, it's just pure authentication. But in this video we did the certificate based authentication, much more complex, and if it is become complex, it is higher secure. The full lab guide of this video series I will upload into my website. You can go to the letslearnnetwork.com and you can download the study guide. In there I will include all the screenshots, the NDES certificate, the template creation, and also the SCEP profile, the creation. All the things will be available on that study guide. You can go to the website and you can download the study guide from there. If this video is helpful for you, subscribe the channel, click the bell notification, and also if you are deploying this one in your environment, and if you face any issues, drop a comment. I will help you. Also drop a comment that what kind of topics we need to cover in the upcoming videos. Thank you. I will see you in the next video.